Episode 13 of No Choice But to Remember It. The Answer. Joanne Weaver's Journal. Today, a lot happened. I was on my college campus, quickly reviewing the answers I was so sure of for my test. I had to know these answers, so I read and read through them. I had to know the answers. I did know the answers, all of them. Then the building closed. Didn't say what happened, but it was all marked off. The teacher said that we'd take the test next week. I still knew all of the answers. It's a thing since I was a child. I hated not knowing. I had to memorize everything I learned. From school or random facts, I knew them all. I hated surprises, and I knew everything about a person without talking to them. The girl who sits in the far left seat at lunch. Her name is Adeline. She was friends with her middle school's principal's son. Parents think are dating. But that's just because they both wanted to go to prom as friends, and have been lying for about 5 years at this point about it. It's become a reoccurring joke with them, making an insane story about why they would not be together, though they don't ever plan on actually telling their parents anything, even though they are nothing more than friends. She has a job at a local gas station and hates water parks, because when she was a kid she ran and slipped on the floor, though she tells people it was because of a wave pool, because she wants to seem more responsible. I've never talked to her before, but I love to people watch. And I don't mean to eavesdrop, but when you're sitting alone and you overhear things from that side of the room, you can't help but listen. I was sitting and waiting for a bus. The bus pass I got isn't until an hour or so, so I took out my drawing notebook and started making designs and drawing those who walked by. I drew Adeline and a few other strangers. Looking for something to draw, I saw a small child. I guess maybe 10 or 12 years old. They were all on their own, sitting and staring somewhere. I assumed they were waiting, and I went back to drawing. I was drawing a tree that's out in front of the bus stop when I heard, "That's nice," from behind me. It was a kid. I smiled and thanked them. They said they draw too. I asked them what they were doing here, and they shrugged. I asked if they were waiting for someone. They said no. They said their name was Artie. I said I was Joanne. Artie sat next to me and asked if they wanted to see what they drew. I smiled and I said sure. The drawing was something. It looked like a door that was cracked open. It looked like my closet door. It was easier to tell that it took a shape against a light cream-colored paper rather than the darkness of my actual room. It was a really good drawing. The door looked so real. The only unreal thing about it was the shadow that leaked out of it. I didn't understand. I asked what it was, and all they said is that they were trying to draw down their ideas first before something. They talked about an Emma, William, and Oliver, saying that they got the idea from Oliver. Even though they don't normally work with the drawings, it makes them more real when you see it on paper beforehand. I don't know what the kid was talking about. Then another child came in, this one covered in bugs. I swear I saw a beetle go into him. He and the kid left together. But that wasn't the last time I saw them. No, I kept saying Artie, and the boy with the bugs kept taking them away after a few minutes. They were always together, and there was no adult in sight. Though sometimes they wouldn't talk. Artie would just be walking, but whenever I saw them, they were always staring right at me. I paid less attention in school at that point. Yet, I'm still only getting good grades. Isn't that odd? I know it. And I want to know why. Why do I know it? Artie came up to me yesterday. They looked at me and asked what was wrong, saying I looked stressed. I said that I didn't know what was going on, that every night before I slept I'd see a shadow moving in the dark. I said I wanted answers, and they smiled. Answers, they said. I nodded hesitantly. Meet me here tomorrow. They gave me a paper. It was a drawing of me, yet not. My usual red glasses looked melted, and my hair seemed to be all sorts of colors. I'm meeting them today. I'm getting answers.